never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Hello everybody, Harvey Talks Prison here. Out here again at the Old Settlers Village. Anyway, today I want to talk about people who run their mouth in prison. Most of the times, it happens when you're in the hole. Somebody yelling at the cell door. Somebody else, thinking they'll never see them again. And I remember one time this happened to me. And I told him, I said, the talking is over. We'll see one another when we get out. Well, I get out, and I guess it's like 2 or 3 weeks later, I see him. I work in recreation. The housing units only get so much rec a day, They're not all of the housing units are out at once. But since I worked in recreation, my boss hired me right back. He didn't think he would see me. He thought there would be a chance he'd end up in a different housing unit or whatever. I don't know what he was thinking, but I saw him. Then he started copping deuces, saying things like, it wasn't me, it was my cellie. I said, man, you said your name and everything. He goes, no, that was my cellie saying my name. He's just trying to get me caught up. So he backpedaled real fast. At Bowling Green, they had this housing unit that was kind of like outside the prison, but not outside the prison. It's kind of hard to explain. There's all juveniles in there. These guys, what's on my hand? These guys would talk trash to us in the general population because they had to be escorted to medical. And then when they was in the hole, they talked trash to people in the hole, and then they'd yell out because it was right. You had to go past on this one walk. You had to go past them, and they'd knock on the window, and when you look, because you think it's somebody that you know, they'd show the junk or something, Well, this one guy was calling everybody in population the B word, and I never thought we'd see this guy. I thought he's saying all this because he knows we're not going to see him. As soon as his juvenile time's up, they'll send him off to another prison or something. When he comes of age. Well, they put him out on the yard, and he tried saying it was just a joke, and he didn't mean it. He tried, and it's just one guy wasn't hearing it, and it ended up all bad for him. It's so bad that we got put on lockdown only for like a day. But after that, I don't think they put those guys straight out in the population because they knew they was talking trash. You'd be at medical, and they'd escort them through, and they have all these guards around them, and they'd be just talking trash. Piss us off, And I think one time, I wasn't there, one of them got attacked, even with the guards there. He got attacked. So, can't be running your mouth in prison. It's always bad, And if you do run your mouth, be sure you can back it up. A lot of people can't, because there's always going to be somebody that's badder than you are. That's a fact. And but I remember when this guy was running his mouth in the hole to me, I'm thinking, I knew it was all bark, but I'm thinking, well, what if it does come to blows? Because I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm not afraid to fight, but I'm not the best with my hands. And there's about 50 chance I'm going to win, And so I said, I was thinking to myself, well, if it does come to blows, it'd suck if I get whooped by this youngster. But that never happened, And he ended up checking in. I don't know if it was because of me or anything, but you know, after he apologized, I mean, he almost on his knees apologizing, which kind of made me hold him in contempt, because don't beg, you know. Don't beg. After talking all that, don't beg. Be a man. You know, I don't mind somebody apologizing, but when you're just, and I'll apologize too. If I'm wrong, I find out I'm wrong, I'll be man enough to apologize to you, but I ain't going to beg for, you know, forgiveness from you or anything. And that's what this guy was doing. But I've seen it happen so many times. People get into it because they're running their mouth. They think nobody's going to do anything. And usually the ones who are running their mouth and doing all this barking, they're the ones that ain't going to do it. I think I told the story. It's right outside the housing unit. Two guys get into it. But they was just talking. And me and another guy was making laps and kind of glanced over there, you know, and kept walking. And he goes, man, one's scared and the other one's glad of it. And what is that? He said one's scared and the other one's glad of it, and that's basically the case. And finally, when they did get into it, is like they hugged one another and they went around in circles like they was dancing, a slow dance, except it was kind of, you know, it kind of spinning. And then they fell over on the ground and then it went rolling across the ground. It was comical. It's one of those type of things that you want to record and you know, put on fucking YouTube or something, you know, TikTok or something. But it was just hilarious, and, you know, and even the guards who broke it up and cuffed them and took them to the hole, none of them really had a mark on them because they was just holding on to one another. Even the guards were laughing, you know. That just tells you how bad it was. So anyway, that's what I got for you today. But you know, you can avoid all this by not going to prison to start with. You know, prison is not fun. It's not fun at all. You got to deal with people like that. You got to deal with the guards telling you what to do, when to do it, all this. Stupid rules. Some of them I understand, but many of them are stupid. Even the guards think they're stupid. And it's because of people doing stupid things that they come up with more and more rules. It's not just being separated from your family and everything. It's, you have to deal with everything. It really sucks. So just don't go to prison, you know. And that's the best thing I can tell you. Just stay out of trouble, you know. Make wise choices. And I thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.